Hello, DSC, and welcome to this is my office actually. So I'm at home today because I have sick kids, which explains the change in location. But what won't change is that I'm here for you guys every day whenever you need me. But today I would like to talk about our next lesson, which is activity 2.6, and we're looking at the storytelling element of irony. So yesterday we looked at conflict. Now we're going to be looking at a different element called irony, and we're going to be looking at it with another Wendigo story called Joe Bignell's Fight with a Wendigo. Now, Wendigo is just an alternate spelling of the word Wendigo. So it still refers to a creature that feasts on human flesh. First things first, I'd like you to, so yesterday we worked in our journal. Today, I'd like you to just spend 15 to 20 minutes working on quill.org, just on your grammar. So the join code is right here, ocean-grain, and you can work on whatever activities you need to. Task 2 is watching this video, so if you're up to that, good job. Now, task 3 involves learning about what irony is. So there's a definition right here. It's the difference between what is expected and what actually happens in life. I also have, these are just review, theme, which is the main idea or message the author is trying to tell his or her audience. And then finally, we have infer, which is to make conclusions, I should say two, based on text clues and your own background knowledge. So you're making an educated guess based on evidence. So I'm going to ask you about theme and inferring today, but those are review. I want to talk about irony. So I have some examples of irony here. And I'll show you what I mean. What is the difference between what is expected and what actually happens? So we have what's supposed to be a school crossing here, but it's misspelled. We expect people working for the school to know how to spell school, but in reality, they did not spell school correctly. So it's the opposite of what we expect, and that's why this is ironic. We expected proper spelling, but we did not receive proper spelling. Another example, we expect someone who is a member of a called peace team to be keeping the peace and not getting into a fight. Well, looks like that's exactly what's happening. Finally, we would expect a bulletin board on how to save paper to actually save paper, but in reality, it is made of nothing but paper. So you're using paper to teach others how to save paper. So it's kind of ironic there too. All right. So that's a little lesson on irony. And you can find today's story right here. It's called Joe Bignell's Fight with the Wendigo, and it's by an author named D. Bruce Seeley. So it's a fairly short story, only 2.5 pages. You can find it there. But what I would recommend is read the questions first. So there's 6 questions, and you can answer them in the spaces I provided. So read the questions first, and then read the story. But I'll explain the questions now. Now, some story details, for number 1, are never explained and require readers to infer or make an accurate guess. Based on your inferences, describe what you think the following 4 things are that are hinted at in the story, but never fully explained. The Aurora Borealis Club, the Iceworm Incident, vertebrate paleontology, and the term Métis. So if some of those are familiar to you, feel free to just explain what you think those terms mean. Number 2, what is the ironic twist throughout the story? Use the story's title as a hint. And why is this twist ironic? So you may need to read the story more than once, which is fine because it is a short story, a really short story. But the story is called Joe Bignall's Fight with the Wendigo. And a hint could be, so we're expecting a fight. Does the reader receive a fight throughout the story? And be sure to explain your answer. Number 3, what do you think the theme of the story is? So what is the main idea or lesson the author is trying to teach his readers? And you can see activity 2.2 for how to write a theme statement. What type of conflict is the story? And to answer that question, you'll need to read the whole story. And which characters is the conflict between? So see yesterday's lesson for the 5 types of conflict. And from what perspective or point of view is this story being narrated from? Is it first, second, or third? See activity 2.4 for the differences between first and third person narration. So tell me, is this in first person perspective, second, or third person? And then explain your choice. I think this is third person perspective because, and then tell me why you chose first, second, or third person perspective. Last but not least, we have question number 6. Describe an example of irony that you've encountered in your life, and be sure to explain why you consider this story or event ironic. So in other words, I want you to tell me an example from your own life about irony, where the opposite of what you expected actually happened. It's like a teacher showing up late to his own class. You'd expect the teacher to be there on time every day. But imagine the students are there and the teacher isn't. That would be ironic. Thankfully, it's hard to be late when I'm teaching from home. All right, so here's a marking scheme for today's questions. You get 13 marks for questions 1 to 6, and then another 4 marks for spelling, grammar, and punctuation. So the more errors you have, the more marks get taken off. But if your writing is done well and is clear and easy to understand, you can get 4 marks for that. And in total, it'll be out of 17. As usual, I'll be available every afternoon to answer any questions that you have. So feel free to post on the stream or check in with Google Meet, and I'll see if I can help you out. Other than that, have a great day, folks, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.